Good afternoon. Welcome back to my channel. I'm here today to talk to you about dog rescue and fostering dogs. So I have always had a passion for rescue, pet rescue and animal rescue, and my algorithm is full of them, and I donate money and I volunteer my time. And when I retired, I decided maybe I will try to give back by fostering. And so I attended an event for a local foster, Rescued Paws at Alpine Foundation, which is just outside of my home here. And I attended a showcase event and sold tickets and saw a lot of fosters and adopted dogs come through. And I mentioned to the owner that if there was an emergency foster situation to let me know. Well, all fosters are emergencies. I've discovered that. And there is an endless need for foster families and dogs that are always in need of fostering and adopting. And the need is actually way bigger than I ever knew or anticipated. There's so many agencies, so many amazing agencies all across Alberta where I live and everywhere that I look. Anyway, I decided to, buck up. And yes, I took on a foster. Darren the Tall, we have named my beautiful 1-year-old Husky Cross foster. I got him in actually the end of February. Time has flown by. He has adopted so well in our family. Sully, my golden retriever, gets along great with him, is actually a great companion for Sully. And I'm falling for him hard, and I really am working hard at getting him adopted, because if I never left the house, he would be mine. I would keep him in a heartbeat. He fits in so nicely. He's a beautiful dog. He's got such a great mannerism. He's so calm and beautiful, and he gets along well with Sully, other people, other pets. But the reality is that I travel, and my partner lives in Michigan, and coming up in the summer now, I'm not home barely at all. And it's really heartbreaking for me to take him back to the kennel when I'm gone. Thankfully, Scott and Melissa took him when I went to Portugal for 2 weeks. And that's a lot, though, to ask somebody to take 2 big dogs. And you do need the yard and you need the home to accommodate that. And so my plan is to really gear up on the promotion of Darren and get him adopted to a beautiful, loving family by June 1st, when my travel really starts. But I thought I would jump on and just talk about my experience so far with fostering and fostering in general. What does fostering means? I mean, it's providing a safe place and a caring, nurturing home for dogs that are either rescued or have been surrendered and are in a kennel. In Darren's case, he was rescued as a puppy and he was being fostered, and he actually got in a little scrap with a kitty and got his eye scratched. And so he had to have his eye removed. So he's a one-eyed husky. And he was adopted by a lovely elderly family. But unfortunately, within the first year, the lady passed away and the man got quite sick. And so while he was in the hospital and taking care of his health, Darren was surrendered to the kennel. And after some time of being in the kennel, the gentleman realized that he could no longer take care of Darren, and so he was surrendered. So that is when they called me and asked if I would take him. So, he's had a lot going on in his first year of life, but being a foster, I have now opened up my home to Darren, brought him into our family, introduced him to Sully. And what the rescue does, so Rescued Paws at Alpine is the organization I'm working with. And what they do is they take care of the vet bills, vaccinations, neuters, spade, any medications. And in our case, they will provide food, leash, crate, any of the necessities. And if I was to run out of food, I could call them and actually get more food. In my case, I actually buy the food because I'm trying to give back and donate in ways. And so for me, it's just easier to purchase the food, and then I'm able to feed Sully and Darren the same, and it makes it easy. Then, what I provide is just like a safe landing, responsibility, teaching them routine and giving them structure around exercise and behavioral issues and monitoring their behavior and their health, and just giving them a calm space and teaching them. I mean, Darren's only 1 year old, even though he's so tall. He looks like an old guy, but I'm just giving them structure so they can continue to learn and feel loved and be nurtured. How long does a foster last? Well, That is the magic question. And people will ask me, well, how long do you have Darren for? I mean, I don't know. I thought and assumed that because it was an emergency foster, that it was only going to be a short time. But the reality is that until somebody comes to adopt him, I have him in my possession, and I'm really hoping to promote and get him adopted. But how long fosters are in place is really dependent on how long the adoption process takes or who is available to adopt. Typically, emergency is shorter and puppies go faster. Some older, more mature dogs or dogs that need a little more patience and training tend to go longer. The emotional side, I don't know, that I was prepared for this because it is a really emotional experience. I have fallen in love with Darren, and he is so sweet. And maybe it's because he's had such a tough first year of his life. He really shows so much affection and appreciation for being here. And people keep saying, oh, you're going to foster fail, which would mean I would adopt him. And honestly, if I never planned to travel much or was home a lot, 100%, he would be my dog. I absolutely love him, but my goal is to get him adopted and not foster fail. I'm not looking forward to the day that I have to say goodbye, even though I hope it comes soon. And I hope that, there's a family waiting for him. But that is going to be a really sad goodbye. I would worry about his adjustment. And I'll actually worry about our adjustment and Solly's not having that companion once he goes. So there is an emotional component to this that I'm bracing for. Life with a foster. This is something I actually learned. Apparently there's a 3-3-3 rule. 3 days, the dog is overwhelmed and nervous and, has a lot of anxiety. 3 weeks, they're starting to learn the routine and you'll see the dog kind of adjust better. And then 3 months, their personality really starts to show. So this was certainly my experience. The first day I had Darren here, there was accidents in the house. And I was like, whoa, I thought you said he was house trained. And I reached out to the rescue saying, oh, he might need some retraining. And they said, no, this is very common. He's been moved around from home to shelter to home, back to shelter. And so he had to adjust. And when I took him to Scott's when I was on my trip, same thing, accidents in the home. I mean, he is only one, so you have to be really aware and diligent. When he wakes up, you got to be on it to let him out. But when I brought him back after Scott's from Portugal, he had an accident the first day back. So I think the poor guy is just really unsure of where his home base is and there's adjustment. But 2 months in, he is right at home. I don't have to crate train him. I do block him off into the dining room at night in the event that there's an accident. There has not been. And when I leave, for a few hours, I go out and I will block him off just so there's a bit of a confined space. But no issues at all. He's made himself right at home and he's adjusting very well. So common behaviors of an early adjustment are accidents indoors. There could be a fear or shutdown. We haven't really seen that with Darren just because he's so gentle and he's so sweet. Excess energy or sleeps a lot. I do think Sully sleeps a lot, and so Darren typically sleeps a lot. But I do make a point, even though it's really difficult to walk them both because they're both very big, strong dogs. If my son is home, we'll walk them together, or I've recruited friends so that I take one and they'll take the other, or I sneak out with one and then come back and get the other. But I do have a fairly big backyard, and so I will intentionally at least twice a day go out and play with them. And I have a big bucket of tennis balls that I whip and they chase them and they just love it. They're kind of Velcro dogs and they love me being with them, but I think that is just common for most dogs. Training expectations. I mean, thankfully, Darren lived with a family for a year and came very well trained. And let's face it, Sully's 6 years old. And could he be trained better? Probably. Very different personalities. I feel that in some cases, Darren is even better trained than Sully is at 6. And when Sully's in the backyard barking at people walking by or being a bit of a brat, Darren kind of puts him in his place. It's actually really good. I think they're really good for each other. Other training that you may be expected to do as a foster is training them to walk on a leash, getting them used to leashes, crate training if that's necessary, basic commands, and then socializing. I mean, thankfully, Darren is good with other pets and we have a dog, so they're able to socialize. I do take him back to the kennel, to the daycare portion of that at times when I need to be out of the house for longer periods of time, etc. So he's still getting that socialization. Now, the cost and finances for a foster family are typically very low because the rescue organization does kick in for the vet bills, medication, in many cases food, and the supplies needed. But, sometimes I'll buy extra treats or toys. I do use my gas to take him to promotion events or events where they're showcasing the dogs. And so, of course, there's that piece of it. And then my role is really to take pictures and promote him, attend the events that they have that try to showcase the dogs that are in the foster system. And I'm available for that or to answer any questions. So the challenges, I mean, I haven't had a lot of challenges. There's been the adjustment. Of course, I have 2 dogs. This time of year, grass coming in and out. I'm constantly vacuuming and sweeping, but whatever. I had that with 1 dog, and that just goes with having a dog. The cleaning up the accidents, I'm really glad that didn't last long. I don't know that I was prepared for that long term, but it was temporary. I'm not looking forward to saying goodbye. That is going to be a big adjustment, and I really hope it is coming because that means that he will be adopted into a beautiful family. If you have other pets, I think there's that introduction phase as well that will come into play. Thankfully, Sully adjusted quite well. I mean, he's still a bit put out, and Darren certainly likes to play and roughhouse a little more than Sully did. I see it as payback, but because when Sully was a puppy, he tormented Benny, our older dog at that time, with the same behavior. And I honestly do think that it keeps Sully young because it gets him out and rolling around. And we did take Darren to the kennel for a day when I needed to be out of the house, and I came home, and for the afternoon he wasn't here, and Sully was almost looking for him, like, where did my playmate go? I miss my bud. So that was good. He adjusted really well. And working with the rescue is also really important. You ultimately don't own the dog, so they kind of have the decision-making power in what's there. Thankfully, my rescue is amazing, and we have a really good partnership. But the benefits of fostering, like, it is so fulfilling. It's so heartwarming. I just am so grateful every day for Darren, and that I'm able to give him a soft couch and a nice loving home to land. So I do see, I'm helping. He's not stuck in a kennel where it's highly dysregulated and so noisy. I don't have a long-term commitment necessarily, and hopefully the adoption process goes swift, because I didn't sign up to foster so that I would foster fail or, end up with 3 dogs. It was meant to be a short term to help Darren, to help the rescue, and to be a place to land in between. I'm very emotionally fulfilled doing this. I do feel, even though it's a pain and the dogs are certainly a focus, I've lost some of the freedom that I had just gained in retirement. What I'm getting back from knowing I'm helping him, and he's such a beautiful soul, and to give Sully a companion and to be that buffer and safe place between his homes is super fulfilling. So, if you're out there, if you have a dog, please consider fostering, because it's great companionship. And if you have 1, you might as well have 2, and it is temporary. If you've recently lost a dog or are between dogs or haven't had one, what a wonderful opportunity to bring an animal in the home that shows you so much love and unconditional love and is there for companionship. And you're giving back in ways that are desperately needed out there. And if you happen to fall in love with Darren the Tall, like I have, and might have a beautiful home that could offer him his forever home, please keep a comment down below, and I will reach out to you. I'd be happy to do a meet and greet or send pictures or share. And on that, please support the rescue organizations out there with time, donations, even contributions, and giving back your time as a foster or an adoptee is amazing. So thanks for listening. Talk to you soon.